Hi YouTube family, Paul here at Paul Phillips Fix. Today I'm working on a 2004 Toyota Corolla. I'm changing the engine oil and the engine filter, which is right up there. To drain the engine oil you need a 14mm socket. And then the filter is easy to reach to. I'm using Mobil 1. I believe they're a good filter. I either use that, Bosch Extended Performance, or the long distance one, or K&N filters. Fram or garbage. To do the transmission fluid and filter change, you need a 14mm socket to get the drain plug out. Let that run for a while, and then you're gonna need a 10mm to go around and take this pan off. What size bolts hold the filter on, I don't know. I haven't done one of these Toyota transmissions yet, but I will find out when I open that cover up. I'm also going to do an antifreeze change as well. Get this set up for the winter. The woman that owns the car doesn't really know where it's at as far as the maintenance intervals, so she's doing a thorough once over on it and going to keep a log of it so she can take better care of it in the future. I'm using a Mobil 1 040 engine oil. I believe that exceeds all the specs needed for the 530, and it is truly a true synthetic. They cannot sell these other synthetics in Europe from Mobil like their 530 because it isn't a true synthetic. It's an American synthetic. I was kind of shocked when I read that, but the 040 is a true synthetic. What else am I doing? I got to check the rear brakes. I'm hearing some kind of a funny sound when I'm braking. It sounds like it might be coming from the right rear. She just threw new tires on it, so this car's got 186,000 miles on it. I told her if she takes good care of it, she should get another 100 out of it. I'm going to recommend that the oil be changed every 6,000 miles. I don't like pushing it to the 10,000 miles. Engines cost a lot more than oil, so I would rather change my oil a little more frequently. And I will recommend that she services the transmission with a fluid and filter change every 30,000 miles. Give or take 10,000 miles, you know, it wouldn't be a tragedy to run at 40. It's recommended, I believe, in between 30 and 60,000 miles. I like to do things on the shorter end of the spectrum. Better to be safe than sorry. Once again, transmission fluid and a filter is much cheaper than a transmission. Okay guys, I'm going to let this drip for a while, then I'm going to open this pan up and we'll see what size bolts are on that transmission filter. You're going to drop the pan. What I did is I loosened all the bolts, took a screwdriver gently without mutilating the pan. You don't want to misshape it or scratch up the mating surface underneath. Just get in there and just right on the very edge, you might have to pry it off a little bit to break the seal with the gasket. I left one bolt in here and one bolt here just so the pan wouldn't fall, and I cracked it loose a little bit and let it drain more. Now I'm going to take those last bolts out. It's a lot of bolts in this little thing. That's why I got my AC Delco power ratchet. Aha! I'm not stupid, I'm lazy. It is a big time saver. If you're going to work on cars, any amount of frequency at all, good investment to get yourself one of those 3/8 drive power ratchets. Big time saver for stuff like this. Alright, that looks like that's held in with 10mm bolts as well. At least they don't give you a ton of different sizes to work with here. Yep, those are 10mm holding a filter in as well. Pretty easy job. Just a 14mm and a 10mm socket and you got it. Surface looks pretty good. Make sure you clean around though. You don't want any of that dirt from the outer edge of the gasket getting underneath the new gasket when you put it in. I'm going to see how this... I think this is a factory gasket. It may be better quality than a replacement one. If it's the OEM gasket and it looks really good, I may reuse that. Those replacement gaskets aren't of the same quality as the OEM gaskets on a lot of the transmissions. Okay guys, let's see what this pan looks like. I don't think that this transmission has been serviced in a long time. It may never have been serviced, actually, to be honest with you. Got a little metal on the magnet, which is expected. See it right there? That doesn't look bad though. Actually, I don't see any shiny stuff in here, ground metal or anything. So this transmission looks like it's in pretty good shape. Got two magnets in it. Both of them have a little metallic from the friction discs, but nothing horrible, nothing that's unexpected. That's common to see when you change a transmission, especially when it's got this much miles on it. This has got 183 or 184,000 miles on it. If this hasn't been serviced before, it looks really good for that mileage. So that's good news. But it definitely needed a filter and fluid change. It's looking a little brown there. You see that? That's supposed to be a nice pink fluid. All right, I'm going to clean this out with some brake parts cleaner and clean that gasket up. Yeah, this gasket looks a little dry. I think I'm going to replace it. I think I'm going to put a replacement gasket on there. Okay guys, let me clean this pan up with brake parts cleaner and get that gasket off. Bye. Okay, I cleaned up that pan. Took that old gasket off, cleaned it up. I took the magnets out and cleaned them. There's little marks where they go. These magnets aren't really that strong. I wish I had more of my rare earth magnets. I would replace them. I did that in my cars. They're like super strong magnets. The more of that metal particles you can capture with the magnets, the better for the transmission, you know. Actually, let me go see if I got an extra one on my refrigerator. I may throw one of them in here for her. Okay, I pulled that filter out. There's three 10mm bolts. Three 10mm bolts. Put it back in. Attach it back. I laid my new gasket on my pan. I'm going to keep a couple of bolts through there when I get it back up, so I make sure it's lined up. Let me find that other bolt. It rolled off my fat belly. Now we're going to have the disappearing bolt game. Where is that bolt? There it is. Hey guys, I filled it up with oil after the oil and filter change. It took just under 5 quarts, I'd say slightly over 4.5 quarts of oil. I put the transmission filter and pan back with a new gasket, and it took just over 6 quarts to fill the transmission up. Online it was telling me 3.5 to 4 quarts. I didn't think that was right. I've never seen that little come out of a transmission when I dropped the pan. But I put 6 quarts in so far, and I'm in the middle of hot and cold. I gotta run it, warm it up, and see where my level's at. Now I'm trying to change the coil packs and plugs, and 2 of the coil packs have come off and 2 of them are frozen on. 2 of these connectors were also frozen on. What I did was suppress this and gently pry around the sides with a screwdriver, and they came loose without cracking the connector plug. Now it appears that this boot is frozen on the plug. I'm going to try to pry a little bit. I'm hoping this coil pack doesn't break. There's a possibility that this boot may come off and be stuck on the plug, and then we got to start getting creative. You know what, I'm wondering if I should put some of that silicone spray right in there. It's not going to go up in there though. It's not going to make a difference at this point. Yeah. I'm probably better off prying on the top of this pack. Let me get on that side.
If you could get under there.
Well, I know if I pry the side, it's going to crack. It moves a little bit. Broke.
There it goes.
Came off, but it
came
broke.
Off. Whoa!
Good. Oh no! I got a tool for that too. I hope it's not right next to the plug where I can't get it out, Frank. You fucked up, man.
No, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
Don't move it. Don't move it. Don't even touch it. Leave it. Leave it right there. If it goes down by the plug, I can't get it out.
Yeah, there's all shit here falling through.
Don't move it.
Get it back. Get something like a vacuum.
I'll get compressed air. Fucking dunce. Fucking dead dunce. The other one out, it chipped and a piece fell down in a plug. I put a piece of duct tape reversed on a coat hanger and got that chip out of there. I need something to pry a little better with this. I need the other screwdriver. Where's that other screwdriver? Here it is. Came out, huh? Yeah. Don't move that shit. Don't let any of that shit fall in there. Huh?
Something just went in there.
Don't worry about it. Piece of plastic.
Yeah, whatever, the ring.
No, the ring is here. The piece of this went in.
That's what I'm saying, that ring.
I got the ring. I got the ring.
Oh, you got it? Oh, okay. I thought it went down.
Just move this over. So she does need a valve cover gasket, huh?
Yeah.
No, it's not too bad. There's shit down in there. Shit went down inside. There was shit down there already. Let me get another piece of paper towel. I gotta blow the top off now and then get that, plug that, and get that shit out of the plug. Honey bunny, honey bunny, honey bunny. Now I can blow that shit out of there with that fucking coil out of the way. Okay. Blew the debris off of the top of the valve cover. Still there. Just be careful not to knock that in. As long as it doesn't get down in the plug hole, you know?
Yeah.
Let me see down in this plug. What did I do with the flashlight?
It went down?
Burn right up his fucking leaf.
Huh?
Piece of leaf. That is the ground cable, right? Yes. Where's my never sees? I may as well film this.